Hey, it's 11:40 The Bet, Audacy Sports here in Las Vegas, joined by a very special guest. We got to close out the year properly. RG3 joining us on behalf of Allstate and the AFCA Good Works team. First off, Rob, hope your holidays were good. Thank you for joining us. And I want to start here. From you going from being a quarterback, face of a franchise, having to be very businesslike, talking to the media, and now becoming a beloved personality in the booth and just that personality that everyone loves. Like, how difficult was it to make sure throughout your playing career that you didn't lose that personality, being a quarterback and everything that you have to do being a leader of a team?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, appreciate you having me on, and happy holidays. Happy New Year coming up here pretty soon. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. Whenever you're the face of a franchise and you're the starting quarterback of a team, it's not always about showing all sides of yourself. So now in the media, some people have been shocked at my personality and shocked at who I really am and how I've portrayed that. But the people who have known me since I was, 5, 6, 7 years old in Coppers Cove, Texas, this is who I've always been. So it wasn't necessarily hard to make sure I didn't lose that version of myself or who I really am. It was more so not being afraid to showcase that at this point in my life. As a 32-year-old man, going into TV at 31, sometimes people can be afraid to truly show who they are. And I just said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to make sure from the first second I step out there that I'm truly who I am 100%, because it's so much easier to be the same person every single day when you get to truly be yourself than it is to try to create a character. So in the NFL, when I'm standing in front of the podium, it's not about jokes and laughter. But whenever you're doing TV and you have 3 hours in the broadcast booth to kind of influence the fan and talk about the game and show them what you know and have fun doing it, at that point, it's no holds barred. You just go out there, have a blast, and hopefully the people resonate with that. And I've been blessed enough that they have.
And first off, I appreciate you and I salute you for having that mentality. And look, the older folks are shook, but they're gonna be all right, okay? And of course, here in Las Vegas, the topic of conversation when it comes to the Raiders is basically what seems like the end of the Derek Carr era. I'm just interested because I want to ask you a couple questions because there's so many angles with this. But first things first, what was your reaction when you heard the news?
Yeah, so my reaction was exactly that of Devontae Adams, just, pure shock. If you're a player in that locker room, you know that you have a job to do. You got to go out there, finish the season strong. But you feel for your guy because of everything that he's been through while he's been there with the Raiders, championing them last year, going through the head coaching change and the stuff that happened with John Gruden. People will point to Derek Carr's win-loss record or how he's played this year, but the guy's put his heart and soul into the team. Even the speech he gave earlier this year in the post game, talking about guys putting the effort in and not getting the results that they necessarily wanted. I don't understand why you would do this with 2 games left in the season to see what you have in Jarrett Stidham, which I got the utmost respect for Jarrett Stidham. He started his career over at Baylor. I got to know him there and know him closely, and he's a good player. But I just look at it as disrespectful to Derek Carr, and it makes you wonder what's going to happen with Devontae Adams and what's going to happen with this team moving forward. You see a lot of people online joking about Devontae going back to the Packers after what they gave up for him. But at the end of the day, he's focused on finishing the year. I think that's the right thing to do. I feel like the way he handled it at his locker during the interview, talking about a guy that's really his best friend. I thought he handled it the professional way, but I know deep down inside, there's a lot of guys in that locker room that are upset.
And before we get into all the work that you're doing with the Good Works team, a 2-part question. On one end, do you feel any type of way hearing that Derek Carr has left the team and is not going to be with the team for the final 2 games? And on the flip side, from a front office and a coaching staff standpoint, Josh Jacobs spoke to the media and said, hey, we didn't really have a send-off and saying goodbye to anybody. We found out in the team meeting. Is that more status quo, or is the front office kind of was that in bad taste, I guess, to not let Derek say anything to his teammates before he left because he's not starting the final 2 games?
Oh, I mean, that's a tough question to answer just because I don't know all of the details about it. If what Josh Jacobs is saying that, they kind of just found out, and I'm guessing Derek wasn't there. When you have a guy that's, such a leader. Like, I think Derek Carr is the unquestioned leader of the Las Vegas Raiders. And so many guys trust in him. It's not like he left the team abruptly with no notification. From what it was reported is that with permission he did. So someone in the coaching staff or the front office thought that he would be a distraction and did not want to give him the opportunity to speak to the team about him being benched and not playing the rest of the year, being shut down for the year. It seems as though the organization and the team have made a decision that they don't want Derek Carr to be their quarterback anymore. And, that's unfortunate for what he's done there, what he's been able to do there, and how he's led there. So if I was a member of that team, I'm sure Derek's talked to them individually. Why wouldn't he? But they thought he would be a distraction, and I think it's because he has such a strong presence in that locker room.
No, 100%. RG3 joining us here on 1140 The Bet, joining us on behalf of the Allstate AFCA Good Works team. And for those that don't know, you've been involved with this organization since your Baylor days. And for those unaware, kind of talk to us about the organization and how people can get involved.
Yeah, it's the Allstate AFCA Good Works team. I was a member of this team back in 2011. So 2011 was a very special year. Of course, we won the Heisman there at Baylor, and then to have the honor to be on this team with such great individuals that it's not about how good of a tackle you can get or how well you throw a football or how many catches you had. It's about the impact that you've had on people's lives. So now I'm back partnered with Allstate and the AFCA Good Works team and DoSomething.org. Really, the focus is just to get people out and literally do that. Do something. Go and embed yourself in your community. We're trying to get 1,000 volunteers to go out and find causes that mean something to them in their own communities that they can give back to, whether that be via donations or via your time. And I've always been a proponent of giving your time sometimes is more important than anything else you can do to show people that you care, to take the time out of your day to go mentor the youth or go build a playground in an underserved community. All those things have an impact and can really change the lives of the young people that are going to change our world in the future. So that's been the main focus. I'm honored to be back partnered with Allstate and having this impact. And it's been really fun. Today we're at Son of a Saint here in New Orleans, Louisiana, with the AFCA Good Works team members, really just mentoring these young men and trying to instill in them that when they make it, make sure they go back. Don't forget where you came from, because at the end of the day, we're all going to be more so remembered for the impact that we made on people's lives than however many pancake blocks we got in the football game.
No, 100%. And if you want to get involved, DoSomething.org/Good Works team. Last question before we get you out of here, RG3. You have any interest in coming back to play? We have a slot here on the Raiders. Look, we got good buffets. We got Devontae Adams. I mean, good wide receiver, good food. What's the problem? Interested?
Listen, there's one thing that I know about the Raiders fans, like one of the best fan bases, if not the best fan base in all of football. I think that makes everybody want to come play there. If I got the call, I'd be ready to roll. I train every single day. I am enjoying what I'm doing in the media, but at 32 years old, I tell everybody this that asked the question. I still have a desire to play. I still believe I can play, and I'm ready to play. And if the right opportunity pops up, I'll be ready to roll. But at the end of the day, I'd be honored to play for the Raiders. But the call has to come in, and if it doesn't, I'm at peace.
Well, look, we're going to start on the Photoshops putting you in the Raiders jersey. RG3, thank you so much for the time. Happy New Year's to you and yours. And thank you for what you do with the Good Works team with Allstate and the AFCA. Thank you so much for the time.
Appreciate you, brother. God bless.
There it is.